So with that, I'd like to begin, first of all, by thanking our esteemed panel. We really owe a huge debt of gratitude to everyone who's been involved, starting, of course, with Ian Monroe this morning, who gave us an introductory picture on what it takes to actually get through this transition, how we cannot leave stones unturned. That we have to address all of the various avenues that we need. We then had very fortunate to be able to listen to Dr. Ali Izadi talk about energy investments. In particular, I think the strengths and weaknesses of different energy sources when it comes to attracting investments, particularly with respect to some of the maturity of the various technologies and the strengths and weaknesses in implementing them. We then also owe a big debt of gratitude to YB Nick Nazmi, previous Minister of Natural Resources and Sustainability, who joined us to give a local perspective, especially given that we've got the Climate Change Act to be released soon. We've also got the budget coming up and a whole bunch of national policy actions that we're going to put into place. We're very grateful to have been joined by Chitra Hepburn, who talked to us about clarifying some of the things that go into some of these international rankings that actually determine whether or not Malaysia is a good investment destination, whether you're an investor looking for green investments, looking for energy investments, looking for short-term versus long-term stability. We were very fortunate to have with us Justin Wu, who highlighted the idea that while it has been the West that has crafted the narrative sort of up to this point and seemed to be the entities taking the initiative to address climate, that Asia is actually coming onto its own finally, with the creation of this vacuum, the withdrawal of the US, that China and some of the East Asian countries are actually filling the space with very credible and very definite actions and strategies, and sending a very strong message to the rest of the world, in terms of the direction that we need to head for a successful transition to survive this climate emergency. Also, we heard from Lisa Jensen talking about the nature of business, the nature of the environment, what it takes for a good risk assessment. Some of these things are very important, and basically how investments how we can actually attract more investment with the measures, with the platforms that we have already put in place. We then had Spencer Lowe with us, very important, talking about circular economy, talking about water, some of the more recent developments in the digital economy and AI. A lot of questions there, very interested audience. I think the idea that we need to be very very practical, very entertaining as always. Philip Joubert, a myriad of topics really. What are the risks? What are we protecting? The idea of value, where value begins. Is it actually companies that create value, or do companies repackage value and actually have a role in trying to ensure that the origin, the source of this value is actually preserved rather than consumed and used up. We had Deborah Msalal, I think, very, very important, talking about some of the industry models out there. Um, the distributed energy resources, how they've become actually something that can be monetized, that can actually fit into a mechanism that is ultimately more responsive, acting as an extra fuel source, as it were, an extra energy source, responding to needs faster and being able to absorb excess energy faster. We had our 10th speaker, Jonathan Rake, talking about risk profiles. Of course, Jonathan with Swiss RE, talking about regulators and what kinds of partnerships we need between the data holders, the analysts, and the regulators to create the kind of environment that will promote data sharing. Once again, a lot of reference to what's practical, a lot of reference to uh, starting from where you are, as opposed to waiting for us to mature some of these databases and such. All right, and of course we closed with Ms. Bruna Sequeira, COP30 extraordinary unit with the Brazilian Ministry of Environment and Climate Change, sharing with us how she views the upcoming COP and what Brazil will bring to the table that's notably different from the previous COPs. We do need to thank all of the moderators that have been with us throughout the day. Of course, Sunita, Dr. Johan, Katrina Litvak, Dr. NK, Serena Hijas, Dr. Hezri Adnan, Senki. We've had Jennifer Thien as well as Henry Sudianko. We would not have been the same without their ability to manage the speakers and all of the questions that came forth. We do need to thank those behind the scenes working to bring you this global summit, Ms. Jiatian, Ms. Naja, who both served as MCs. We also have Agatha and Mr. Hakim in the background. And without you, our audience, we would not also have a successful summit. So we thank you for sticking with us, for being with us whenever you could. We understand that 11 hours is a long time and that you have busy schedules, but we certainly do appreciate you spending your time with us and helping us to digest some of the issues in this very, very important topic. Do remember that this entire proceeding has been recorded and will be available on the CGM YouTube channel. There will be timestamps as always, so you can get to the specific panel discussion if you happen to have missed any, or if you'd like to hear again what was said. Also, please do help us by filling in the questionnaire that we put up there, because we do want to ensure that we bring you content that is always relevant, that is material, and that helps further the mandate that we have been given here at Climate Governance Malaysia. So once again, a big thank you for everyone involved. Especially you, the audience. We really appreciate your presence here. We hope that the speakers have been able to inspire you to tweak your imagination, capture the questions you have, provide answers, and perhaps bring us a little bit further on this journey of transition together to address climate change. Thank you and a very good night.
Thank you, Bruna, Dr. Gary, and Karina for the insightful discussion. And thank you once again, Dr. Gary, for the great closing that formally closed today's proceeding. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes CGM's Global Summit 2025. On behalf of Climate Governance Malaysia, I would like to extend a huge thank you to all our speakers, moderators, and participants for contributing to such a meaningful dialogue and exchange. A very special thank you as well to our sponsors, Westports Malaysia and CIMB Group, for their generous support in making this summit possible. The journey towards sustainable and equitable climate solutions continues, and it is through gatherings like this that we strengthen our collective resolve. This entire summit has been recorded and will soon be available on the Climate Governance Malaysia YouTube channel, complete with timestamp content and an accompanying blog post for reference. We also encourage you to register for our upcoming events through the CGM website. Here's what's coming up. First, we have the Roundtable Series 2025, a series of virtual roundtables aimed at generating actionable climate policy recommendations. Starting from this Wednesday, 1st October 2025, the series will feature discussions across 19 different sectors with a focus on crowdsourcing ideas from Malaysia's climate policy recommendations. Feel free to scan the QR code for registration, and with single registration, you will be able to receive all the sessions guide-in details with your email closer to the dates. We will also be hosting the Investor State Dispute Settlement webinar series, a 3-part program that explores how ISDS frameworks must adapt to support a just and climate resilient future. Feel free to scan the QR code to register too. For regular updates on climate governance, we invite you to subscribe to our CGM Insights Memo, a weekly publication featuring reflections from the Chair of the CGM Council, Dr. Gary Theseira, on policy, regulation, disclosure, and beyond. You have just 2 more days to enjoy our early bird pricing, only 100 ringgit per year. Original price is 200 ringgit per year. Get weekly insight delivered straight to your mailbox at half the price before the offer ends. Scan the QR code on the screen to subscribe now. We hope today's discussions have offered valuable insights and inspiration. Thank you for being with us, and we look forward to welcoming you again at future CGM events.
Thank you, Naja.